Not too uncommon.
Yes. Now, on the one side, Dylan Grimes. He is playing a, looks like, green-red Gyre Sage deck. This is going to be reminiscent of, to many of you, of some of the things that Saito had put out on, I think, mostly on Twitter, that had really influenced the last Pro Tour. Pro Tour Gatecrash had a lot of influence just from his Twitter account. And then on the other side, we've got Junk Midrange.
So, yeah, the list that Dylan is playing is pretty interesting. It's straight red-green. It's very much a blitz deck. No Kessig Wolf run, which is interesting in a deck that could definitely, seems like it could definitely make use of it, but he's, I guess, thinking, I'm trying to win before I even have that much mana online. You know, the Arbor Elves, the Gyre Sage, Burning Tree Emissary, Flinthoof Boar, Strangleroot Geist, Huntmaster of the Fells, Gore Clan Rampager, Wolfear Silverheart, and 2 Thundermaw Hellkite. So his curve tops out at 5. He's obviously got a lot of early game, but he does have a couple of ramped creatures, mana dorks, to kind of get his late game online earlier. So you see he's got a Flinthoof Boar now in play alongside a Gyre Sage, which just evolved off of the Boar. Boar, I believe, has haste, and he's getting in.
They come.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people were surprised to see the Gyre Sage end up making the cut in certain decks, and they were like, well, why wouldn't you play other cards in its place? One of the things that's really awesome about Gyre Sage is the ability to get to a fast Thundermaw Hellkite, Wolfear Silverheart, and then in like mid-games, it ceases to be a crappy little 1/1 accelerator of some kind, and ends up becoming something that can actually beat down.
Yeah, the funny thing is, you know, you play these threats and it starts evolving, and then you're like, you know, I don't have anything in my hand that I can use this mana on, but now I've got, you know, a 3 or 4 power guy is not that crazy. So just Avacyn's Pilgrim on John's side of the board. Dylan now getting in yet again with the Gyre Sage and the Flinthoof Boar. Looks like John has a Restoration Angel.
Yikes. That's going to be painful.
Yeah.
I was actually expecting Dylan to cast what I believe I saw a Wolfear Silverheart in his hand.
He's going to go ahead
oh, wow. The Gar Clan Rampager. That is 4/4 Trampler, and for green-red and discarding it, he can make an attacker get +4/+4 in Trample.
So, yeah, so that Angel comes down, tries to eat the Gyre Sage, but yeah, there the Blood Rush ability on Gore Clan Rampager gives the Gyre Sage +4/+4 in Trample, takes out the Angel and does some extra damage on top. In the meantime, another Flinthoof Boar joins the force, and John Goss is really on the back foot now. No blockers, facing down quite a bit of damage on the other side. In fact, it's exactly lethal at the moment if John doesn't have some sort of response. Now, I believe he has a second Restoration Angel in his hand. So, yes, I'm almost positive now.
Here they come.
And
will we see a repeat of history?
Here comes Angel.
From the clouds.
Angel from the clouds gets in front of the Flinthoof Boar.
Apparently not.
Other two appear to be getting in, so gonna knock John to 3. One Boar destroyed by an Angel. Dylan's hand, he has Arbor Elf, he has, looks like Mizium Mortars?
Yes.
Mizium Mortars, and one other card that I haven't gotten a good look at.
I thought I saw a Wolfear Silverheart earlier.
And I believe you may be correct. Oh no,
Domre.
It's a Domre Rod.
And I think we're going to see a fight.
Yeah, very good point. Derek Rebow from Twitter mentions that second Flinthoof Boar should have evolved the Gyre Sage further.
Well, it could have evolved.
Could have, yes.
Could have
Should
evolved.
could have, but didn't. John on a 6-card hand, by the way, to start this game.
Okay. And he sits back. The fight killing the Arbor Elf, it looks like. I guess I'm confused as to what was fought. Was it the Arbor Elf? Yeah, it was the Arbor Elf that was fought. So that, okay. So John Goss loses an Arbor Elf to the Domre Rod fighting ability. Now we see a Mizium Mortars from Dylan Grimes' hand. And we're going to see if John has any responses. Undying Evil?
Wow, he's giving his Restoration Angel Undying here. I don't think it was the Arbor Elf that was fault, because that's the same Arbor Elf that died in combat. I thought.
It fought. He had 4 mana before, and now he has 3. I'm not 100% sure, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I started looking down at the lists and missed the interaction. It did.
Yeah, it did fight the Pilgrim. Okay, so in they come. Either one of these creatures will kill that angel should the angel choose to block. Actually, pardon me. Yeah. Either of these will kill the angel.
Tragic slip. And John has temporarily stabilized at 3 life, facing down Domri Rod and Dylan Grimes here. Yeah, you know what happened is that Pilgrim was down with his lands. And that's why I thought it was gone already. That's what threw me off, I think.
Arbor Elf faces off against Angel there. Domre Rod, probably not long for this world. Now, apparently the official way to say Domre Rod is Domre Rod, but I like to call him Domre Rade. Centaur Healer, game 3.
The evolve trigger wasn't missed. Blood Rush.
Blood Rush, nice. Good point. Good point, Blood Rush. +4/+4 trample.
Yep.
Makes him too big to evolve.
Yeah, that Flint Hoof Boar came down post-combat, so it was, he was still a big dude. So we've got Restoration Angel, an undead Restoration Angel at that, alongside a Centaur Healer, facing off against Flint Hoof Boar, which Dylan appears to be considering giving haste.
He says, let's... do we do it? He pass it.
So Flint Hoof Boar and Arbor Elf facing off against Centaur Healer and Restoration Angel with a +1/+1 counter. John now up to 6 life after that Centaur Healer, trying to dig his heels in, and he's stuck on 3 lands here.
He needs some more action in order to be out of the danger zone, but Dylan Grimes is not doing anything particularly threatening. Land go, giving John time. John draws, is that a land?
It is.
It is.
Finally finds his 4th land.
And he's like, look, see, I got a 4th land.
And I believe he has another Angel, which represents another 3 life with that Centaur Healer on board.
That is an Angel. Well, yeah, I believe that's an Angel.
Pretty sure that's an Angel. It could potentially be Angel of Serenity.
The attack there makes me feel like that's an Angel. In with 3 for the Centaur Healer.
And Dylan, I believe, takes it, goes to 17, and John passes the turn with 4 mana up and a Centaur Healer in play. So you're going to see very likely an Angel blinking that Healer. And a Burning Tree Emissary from Dylan.
And a pass.
And a pass, yeah. So
John's
going to go ahead.
Boom.
There's that Angel.
Game 3 life.
Up to 9. And John's just completely resetting his life total. He's on his way to that anyway. In the meantime, he can kind of start feeling safe to get in with like those Angels and still have a couple of blockers. I think he needs to start taking turns away from Dylan.
In for 4. The 2 Undying Evil. So interesting in this list.
It's not something you expect. And a
Sorin. Wow.
There's Batman.
I think that they only count as superheroes when you get a bunch of them together.
You can think that.
Sorin in play.
Looks like he makes an vampire token. It is one of the Liz Nugent vampires. You can see his Sorin's -2 gets creatures +1/+0.
You can see Dylan Grimes, when he did his draw there, pantomiming like a miracle attempt. There are no miracles. Oh, pardon me, is there increasing savagery? No, that's not a miracle. There are no miracles in Dylan's deck list. But
it's nice to
I like that he's faking for the bonfire. Yeah. But that bonfire fake out is very cute because if John picks up on it and believes him, he might hold back a little bit.
Absolutely. Dylan doing some math here, counting up the potential creature damage he's facing next turn. Considering that Sorin may very well make all those guys just 1 power bigger. So that would represent a 4 power angel, a 5 power angel, a 4 power centaur healer, 2 power vampire. So Dylan's not going to attack. He's going to make sure to keep the ground a bit gummed up just to protect his life total, but still, I don't see why John doesn't just go ahead and start swinging in with the angels. Yeah.
Speaking of,
that's what he's doing. Swings in with the angels. He can make another vampire as a blocker.
Unfortunately for Dylan, about one of the only paths he has right now is Mizium Mortars at Overload.
And it's possible. He does play Mizium Mortars, and in fact he has 2 main deck. He has used 1, as far as we know.
Thragtusk. John Goss really pulling out here.
Yeah. Going up to 19 here. And Dylan's going to scoop him up after having John down to 3. John stabilizes, and Dylan just can't find anything to just push through that last bit of damage.
A couple of things we might see. There are no Kessig Wolf runs in Dylan's main deck. He does have Kessig Wolf run in his sideboard, a card that could have broken open that game with his really, really rough flood, maybe being able to push him over the edge there. I also think that Garruk Primal Hunter is excellent in these like long slogs that are likely to happen. And Mizium Mortars, he's got 2 more on the sideboard. I think that's going to be what we're going to see him bringing in, is that set of cards.
On the other side of the table, John Goss has access to Abrupt Decay, 2 more Centaur Healers, and 2 Rock's Faith Mender, which are all kind of windmill slams as far as bringing in. He also has a couple of Deathrite Shamans, which aren't all-stars here, but they can gain him life if he feels like he'd rather load up on the early game, just to shore that up. But I actually feel like I don't think he needs the Shamans. I think the Abrupt Decays, the Centaur Healers, and the Rock's Faith Menders come in for sure.
If you're just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here in the booth with Joey Pasco. This is the StarCityGames.com Open Series here. We are live in Washington, D.C. You can see John Goss on the left playing Junk Midrange versus Dylan Grimes.
Yeah, Dylan playing a red-green Gyre Sage deck.
John Goss has a hashtag Team Panda shirt on. I said his name, and somebody else with the hashtag Team Panda shirt jumped up and was like, oh my god, how's John doing? 1-0 for John Goss and Team Panda.
Dylan still has 37 minutes, though, to turn it around. Now, I don't think his deck needs 37 minutes to win 2 games. Win or lose 2 games, even. But we'll see. Looks like Dylan's finished sideboarding. John appears to be finishing up right now. He's making a few little changes, but Dylan is just about ready to get going here. Now, John won that game on a mulligan, 6. So.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we saw is he was really struggling for mana. Dylan used Domre Rod to execute, or actually to throw into the pit an Arbor Elf and I believe a Gyre Sage, who duked it out. The Gyre Sage killed the Arbor Elf and knocked John Goss down to 3 mana only. But that 3 mana included, besides the 3 mana, he also had a 4/5 Restoration Angel. Stuck at 3 life, 4/5 Restoration Angel. Dylan Grimes sits there, unable to get through to any profitable attack. And then John Goss draws a Centaur Healer. Then he draws a land and Restoration Angel the Centaur Healer. Then another land comes and a Thragtusk, and it all just fell apart.
Yep. So that's kind of the strength of some of these decks, especially with all this life gain in the format. It's interesting how big of a factor life gain has become lately when it's stapled on the back of something else. You get a 3/3 with it, awesome. You get to draw a bunch of cards with it, excellent. This is all fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
Stream of Life, not so interesting.
Traditionally, life gain has been a pretty terrible effect, but a lot of that has been because life gain has just been life gain. You take a card like Stream of Life, sorcery, green X, gain X life. It's usually not hard hitting enough to influence the game in any real way. But when you attach it to a lightning bolt, when you attach it to a 3/3 body, when you attach it to a 5/3 body, when you attach it to a Blue Sun Zenith, it becomes really potent because as your life total gets higher, the safety that provides you means that you get to actually make use of your other cards.
Absolutely. So we mentioned the Invitational in Atlanta is coming up April 4th through the 6th. That's just about 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away. We've got Cedric Phillips, Osip Lebedovich, and Tom Martell on the coverage team. So if you can't make it out, you can check it out on scglive.com. But as far as the Invitational itself is concerned, $50,000 total prize pool. First place gets $10,000, 30 open points, and their name and likeness on a future StarCityGames.com token, which is
awesome.
Really awesome. The way it's going to work out, Friday, April 5th, is the official start of the Invitational. 4 rounds of Legacy, 4 rounds of Standard, and then the top 64 players or 15 or more points will advance on to Saturday. Saturday, 4 rounds of Legacy, 4 rounds of Standard, so we're just alternating Legacy, Standard, and then cut to a top 8, which is Legacy, and that is played out on Sunday morning starting at 11 a.m. That's the Invitational.
The one thing to think about with this is these invitational events, if you can go by winning an invitational qualifier at a store. They are one of the most prize award-giving tournaments out there. You should go if you can make it. Tour match in progress.
Arbor Elf, turn 1 for Dylan.
Does he have something to do with that?
Strangle
in for 3. Geist and Arbor Elf attack.
Dylan showing the early game strength of his deck. And a turn 2 Arbor Elf. Arbor Elf from
very
John.
fast, very fast. You can see these lands he's putting into play tapped.
That's not an Arbor Elf, it's an Avacyn's Pilgrim.
They require the existence of land types to come into play untapped. So the Sun Petal Grove, the Woodland Cemetery coming into play tapped.
Didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No worries.
Just trying to clarify. Avacyn's Pilgrim. I get them, their names, I accidentally say one or the other a lot.
In for 2, John says, I prefer my Avacyn's Pilgrim to my life. Takes 2. And 2 more mana. Burning Tree Shaman creates red-green when it comes into play. Untap a land. 3-4 more mana.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. He is
Gore-Clan?
Gore-Clan Rampager. Dylan Grimes with all the power.
I've been playing Gore-Clan Rampager in Modern. It is a beating.
Yeah, it's essentially a split card. You've got a 4/4 Trampler or a +4/+4 in Trample. It's
you got it backwards. you've got a +4/+4 Trampler that sometimes is a 4/4 Trampler.
I can't make tails or heads of it.
Oh, Centaur Healer to stem the bleeding.
Yeah, Centaur Healer gonna maybe make as big of an impact as it did last game. We'll see. If John can follow it up with Restoration Angel, it'll certainly be an uphill battle for Dylan to take this match. But Dylan's got a lot of guys, a lot to say about it, and he's got a Museum Mortars, so he's gonna
out of the way.
Put the brakes on that plan. Yeah.
He can attack right now for 9. And he does.
And
takes
half of John's life total.
That is sawing off one of John's heads there, where he had 2-headed giant.
But since he's not, what is it, just cutting half of his head off? All right, John, with just half a head, trying to get back into this game. You see several lands of Farseek. There's definitely a Restoration Angel in there. He is lamenting the loss of his Centaur Healer. But he is up a game here, so his back is not up against the wall the way it was for Dylan. Or the way it would be for Dylan if the situations were reversed here.
Abrupt Decay in hand. He's contemplating paying life, I believe. There's a land that's flipped over on the other side, and just the decision is, what do I do?
And he looks to have decided to play it untapped. To Godless Shrine. Yep, he's going to go to 7.
Drops to 7.
Let's get dangerous, he says.
That Gore Clan
And then
Rampager
passes
does
the
have
turn.
trample naturally as a part of its abilities.
So Restoration Angel here from John is, well, it's what he's representing, and it's what he has. How much is that going to save him?
I mean, honestly, just a straight up attack with everything is still just an incredible amount of damage, even if John Goss puts a Restoration Angel in the way of something.
I still feel like, yeah, if he puts the Restoration Angel in front of the Gore Clan Rampager, he's still dead. If he puts it in front of,
Here they all come.
yeah, if he puts it in front of the next biggest guy, which is what, either Strangleroot or Burning Tree Emissary. Okay, so he's doing something different.
Abrupt Decay in hand. He's
Okay.
going to decay the Burning Tree Emissary.
And Tragic Slip the
Slip.
Rampager. Okay.
Now, he only had access to 2 black via putting that card into play, that land into play, with Pain. Now he has 1 mana left open. It's just not a green, or not a black. And there's a Gore Clan Rampager in Dylan Grimes' hand. So you're dead anyway, John Goss. Good
Nice
try,
little
good try.
defense, yeah, putting it up at the end there. And of course, the one mana he had open still was actually an Avacyn's Pilgrim, I believe.
Yes.
So it was a kind of a glare on it, but I mean, that was a potential blocker. I don't know that it would have made any difference there.
With
I
the
don't think he
Gore Clan
blocked,
Rampager,
yeah.
not at all.
I don't think he blocked.
I think even if he had blocked because
yeah,
of
it
Gore
would've
Clan
been- it would've only
Rampager,
soaked
I don't
up
think it
one.
mattered.
Yeah. Even if
And-
he had survived the turn, I don't think he would have survived much longer.
John Goss goes back to his sideboard. You know, one of the things he saw there was just this massive. Did he see Gore Clan Rampager in the first game?
I thought so. Yeah, the blood rush in the first.
Oh,
game
that's
on-
right, he
on
did
the-
see
on
it,
the Dire
okay.
Sage, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that was what prevented the Flint Hoof 4 from evolving the Gyre Sage. So yeah, he definitely saw it.
It
But-
looks like he went to his sideboard again to get a little bit more sideboarding in. I wonder if he was bringing in Deathrite Shamans simply as a little bit of extra life gain.
I mean, it's debatable. I did mention it as a possibility.
I mean, it
but
does also eat a Undying from a Strangleroot Geist.
That's true. Nice little bonus there. He's got 2 main deck Centaur healers and 2 more on the board, so going up to 4 Centaur healers. Presumably, he also brought in Rock's Faithmender, which doubles all his life gain. I feel like he has quite a bit of life gain already. That said, still, the Deathrite Shaman may be something he decides to bring in. You got to start worrying about how much he's taking out, though, because his deck is mostly offense. He's got a couple of Abrupt Decays and Tragic Slips main deck, which he would want to keep in, so it's not as if he has, like, a ton of very obvious cards to take out.
Shaheen Sarani comes by all smiles.
Yeah, 4-0.
4-0 Sarani.
I did want to mention this as we were talking about the Invitational. There's another tournament happening
That's
at
right.
the Invitational, not just the Invitational itself, not just the Standard Open Series, not just the Legacy Open Series, and not just the typical side events. We've got something pretty special, an Ascension Immortal tournament. So this is not Magic.
Yeah, this is Ascension. The original Ascension release, Ascension Chronicle of the Godslayer, is the really awesome deck building game from then Gary Games, now Stoneblade Entertainment, which is made up of several Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
Rob Doherty and Brian Kibler, and 1 potential Hall of Famer, Justin Gary. These are all Pro Tour champions. They made a deck building game, which is awesome, and we're going to have a tournament of the newest set, which is Immortal Heroes, at the Atlanta Invitational, and one of the prizes for this is getting your likeness on a future Ascension card. If you don't play Ascension, one thing I will tell you, Ascension was designed by pro Magic players who were in the Hall of Fame to be loved by Magic players. You almost always will love Ascension if you love Magic.
It's an excellent game. You're missing out, and if you want to get into it, you can get there's an iOS version, so you can play it on your iPhone. It's a little small on the iPhone, but it's doable because I played it for a long time on my iPhone before I got an iPad. If you have an iPad, you can play it on there.
Yep. They are also kickstarting, and they just kickstarted a PC and Android version, which will be coming soon, but not here yet.
Yeah, so a lot to look forward to for those of you who already play Ascension or want to get into Ascension. And of course, there's the actual physical game where you just buy the physical cards.
I have everything. I've got every single Ascension thing that they've put out. It's so good.
I've stuck to the digital versions. I do have the initial Chronicle of the Godslayer physical cards, but I've only played with it like twice because I just always play on my iPad now.
And John Goss starts it off. Woodland Cemetery.
That tournament is Sunday at the Invitational. Sunday, April 6th at noon. Entry fee is $20, and it includes all the materials you need to play.
John Goss, once again, a turn 2 Avacyn's Pilgrim. No turn 1 play for Dylan Grimes. Burning Tree Emissary, maybe into Gyre Sage?
And
Correct.
There it is. Dylan passes it back to John. Tied up, 1 game apiece, 24 minutes left in the round.
This is all of the marbles here this game, for this match.
John
Centaur
on the
Healer
play here, yeah, with a Centaur Healer to start things off and to try to put this game out of reach for Dylan Grimes.
I mean, he is already in a great shape. Here he is, no damage having been taken, laying a Centaur Healer, which is bigger than every creature Dylan has, being at 23 life now.
Yeah, and enough mana currently for Restoration Angel, which is really the engine that destroyed Dylan in game 1.
One, two, three. 1-2, I guess.
Yep, goes with Flint Hoof
A
Boar.
boar and an evolution.
Evolved, yeah.
Boom, boom. Gyre Sage now a +1/+1.
Dylan trying to figure out how he wants to do this. Declines to give the Flint Hoof haste.
Mizium Mortars.
And we see why. Yeah, wants to use a Mizium Mortars to take out that Centaur Healer to...
You can't attack with that boar. Okay, there you go. 2 damage. Yeah. Nice try, though.
Yeah, wants to take out that Centaur Healer before Restoration Angel is online, which it is actually as soon as John untaps, which he just did. So, trying to keep that from happening.
Hiding amongst the lands right now is an Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Yes, John puts his pilgrims down with his lands, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, Thragtusk. This is looking really bad for Dylan. He needs to present a lot more damage than he currently is.
Dylan in real trouble here. He's going to need to go over the top with something like a Thundermaw Hellkite if he brought them in. Or, pardon me, if he kept them in. If he kept them in,
exactly.
I mean.
He has 2 main. He's also got 3 Wolfear Silverheart, so don't know his decisions as far as whether or not those are still in the deck.
Domri Rod.
Yeah.
Or if you prefer the incorrect pronunciation according to Wizards of the Coast, it is not correct to say Domri Rade.
Alright, Domri ticks up. We'll just call him Domri.
You know, the top of your library matters, la la la. In comes a boar.
Boar trying to maybe tussle with a Thragtusk, but John's not into that. Says, I'll take 3, I'll go to 23. I'm pretty healthy, it's fine.
2 mana. Strangleroot Geist.
Post-combat Strangleroot Geist as well.
This is for the D. Gonna protect Domre Rod with that guy.
And Dylan with, I believe, just 1 card left in hand. John untaps. I don't see a Restoration Angel in his hand, but I'm not getting a good look.
I think I see a Sever the Bloodline.
That's what I thought I saw too. He does have 2 of those in the board. Presumably brought those in. Yeah, Sever, Abrupt Decay, and is that a Sun Petal Grove? Possibly? Okay, never mind. That's not his hand.
Did you say Sun Titan?
I said Sun Petal Grove.
Oh, okay. Sever on the Strangleroot Geist. Boom! Sever the Bloodline.
Sorcery speed removal, but it exiles it. So no Undying triggers. And that will...
I bet you Thragtusk is going to eat a Burning Tree Shaman.
It's likely. There you see Sever the Bloodline, a rare from Innistrad, sorcery speed removal for 4, exiles a creature and all other creatures with the same name as that creature. Not really relevant here, but the fact that it has flashback, very reminiscent of Chainer's Edict.
The thing that's interesting too, a lot of people when they first read this kind of think it's going to be like Eradicate, in that you'll search their hand or library. No, it cares about what's in play.
Exactly. Yeah.
Another forest, 4 mana, increasing savagery perhaps? Maybe not. 1, 2.
Another
Gyre Sage.
And
Huntmaster of the Fells.
there he is, actual Huntmaster.
In with the wolf.
Gets a wolf.
Now, we could be seeing a position where it might be protect the Domri. Domri Rod, when you actually use its ultimate ability at -7,
It's
Domri
insanity.
Rod is insane. All creatures, you gain an emblem.
There he is.
Yep, you gain an emblem. Creatures you control have double strike, trample, hexproof, and haste, which is another way of saying expect to lose to creatures.
Absolutely. So, for one thing, double strike, that's a huge ability, but and trample as well. So, you can't put guys in front of them because they have double strike. They're going to just kill the guys, and then they're going to trample through. Then they have hexproof, so you can't deal with them. And then you can't even be like, well, maybe I can wrath. No, they have haste too. It's just insanity. The thing is, though, you need to have creatures on the board. Dylan not having that problem here, but we'll see how things develop. Thragtusk and a Beast on John Goss's side to face down Dylan Grimes' army of Burning Tree Emissary, double Gyre Sage, Huntmaster of the Fells, Wolf Token, and of course, Domri Rod.
Yep. Undying Evil once again protects one of his creatures. That's why you see a Thragtusk in play. It blocked, killed a Flinthoof Boar, and was then brought back with Undying.
Yeah, so that left a Beast there, kind of like a little 1 mana Restoration Angel kind of effect there.
And we see a block here for 4 power from Dylan Grimes, protecting Domri Radi. And I think we're going to see that angel that you believe you saw. Oh, it could be an Abrupt Decay during combat.
He has Abrupt Decay, he also has Angel, I'm almost positive. So he's trying to decide which one is actually better.
I mean, he can always Abrupt Decay the Domri Rod.
He certainly could, and maybe that's what he's thinking. So I think that might be what I'm thinking as well. I would go with Angel here. You reset your Thragtusk, you lose that Undying thing, so it's not going to just... yeah, it's going to lose the +1/+1 counter, but you reset your Thragtusk, you save your guys, and you still have the Abrupt Decay for the Domri Rod.
Dylan draws
1 card, and he's going to tick up Domri. What has he got?
Got to show it if it's a creature.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
you don't get to put it in your hand.
Exactly.
It's not
Mizium
Jace.
Mortars,
It's not
right.
Jace.
There's a Mizium Mortars on the top there.
And I believe that is not a red source in his hand.
I agree. Dylan in trouble here.
John-
Go ahead.
John Goss, 33 life. Dylan Grimes, 22 life.
Yeah, life totals right now are...
Thundermaw.
Wow, okay,
Hellkite.
He's got something up his sleeve. Thundermaw Hellkite's going to hit the stack, going to tap the Restoration Angel and do a damage.
Will he remember
to
to
it.
evolve? It's a big deal. 3 4s are so much better than 2 3s.
Yeah, so...
He's still got an opportunity here. He hasn't passed up his opportunity yet. It looks like he's about... Okay, no evolution.
Missed the trigger. Unfortunate. 2 triggers, too. 2 guys.
One can only dream.
But he attacks with the Thundermaw Hellkite, so it knocks John down to 28. Although I feel like if I'm John, I'm feeling pretty good here. He does need to win the game, and Domri's really getting scary now.
Now we know that John has a abrupt decay in hand.
Yeah, he needs to use that soon.
Angel contemplating attacking.
Yeah, I suppose unless he wants to throw it in front of the Thundermaw Hellkite.
It looks like he's attacking Dylan. And he is.
It does look like that, yeah.
Go to 19, he says. That would be, if I were Dylan, I would find that suspicious.
Well, he's going to find out exactly why right here when Abrupt Decay targets Domri, and Domri goes the way of the whatever Abrupt Decay has in its art.
And John Goss lays a land tapped. Dylan draws. We know it's a Mizium Mortars. Okay, hold up. Does he have the red?
He
no.
does, Gyre Sage.
Oh, Gyre Sage. Okay, there we go.
So it looked like he mortars, but decided to attack first.
Yeah, it's green mana that Gyre Sage produces.
It doesn't produce. I thought it produced
Yeah,
any color.
Gyre
Wow,
Sage
okay.
does not, so he cannot cast that with Overload. And then the Huntmaster flips, though. No spells having been cast. It is now nighttime. In comes the Angel.
Yeah, Dylan gonna fall to 16 here. Still, John Goss has plenty of guys on the ground to stay in the way, and it's just these armies at a standoff against each other while the Flyers just smash back and forth.
I think we're going to see it become daytime. I think we're going to see a Mizium Mortars after combat killing the Angel. Ooh, wow. What's this?
He's attacking with a Huntmaster.
with the Ravager of the Fells.
I'm sorry, yeah, it is
the
a Ravager of
Huntmaster
the
has flipped. In the way come two creatures. I don't like that attack at all.
I'm wondering what his plan was. Was he trying to represent like a Gore Clan Rampager?
Maybe.
And trying to bluff it, but no, he just throws away his Ravager of the Fells. Trades it with a Beast. And plays an Arbor Elf.
In this race, it'll take John Goss 6 turns to kill. Dylan Grimes 5 turns to kill.
John has access to more life gain. Dylan has access to more, well, creatures.
More creatures.
He also has Gore Clan Rampager and increasing savagery that can
And Wolfir
both change
Silverheart.
that. And Wolfir Silverheart that can both change those clocks, or change the clock for Dylan. So John gonna flashback sever the
Sever.
bloodline.
Boom.
All right,
That will get rid of that Thundermaw Hellkite.
yeah, that'll deal with the Hellkite. That is the major threat on Dylan's side of the board. And so John's already dealt with the two biggest threats in Domri and Thundermaw Hellkite. He just needs to chip away at the life total with Angel, which is what he's been doing.
Now remember, these Gyre Sages are only 2/3s right now. They could have been 3/4s, but as is, I believe that he might have just drawn a Rampager.
I mean, John also knows that Mizium Mortars is in Dylan's hand because he tried to cast it. He could also Mizium Mortars that Angel if he wants, but he seems to really want to overload.
You can only wait so long.
And yeah,
Finally, he pulls the trigger.
Mizium Mortars on the Angel, so no Flyers left in play. John Goss with a Beast and a Thragtusk, Dylan with double Gyre Sage, both evolved once, an Arbor Elf and a Burning Tree Shaman, alongside a Wolf, which is kind of hiding behind the Shaman there. It's a scared wolf.
Cast the Gore Clan Rampager.
Yeah, there's that Rampager. Decides not to use it. And he doesn't miss the Evolve trigger this time.
I think there's a discussion of whether he missed it.
Yeah, maybe he said...
He said go.
must have
He said go.
Yeah.
Now, right now, these these Gyre Sages could be 4/5s.
Yes, they'd be quite...
How
the,
significant
quite
would
the
that be?
force.
That would be huge. Huge.
Huge. They'd be very Ernam Jin-ish. Passes the turn. Dylan untaps.
Domri. Domri. That is huge. Huge. +1.
And
Shows a
finds
Huntmaster of the
Huntmaster.
Fells. Not enough mana to cast. Oh, no,
Well,
never
he
mind.
does
He's
with
got
the
Gyre
Gyre
Sages. In with a 4/4 Trampler. Angel.
Yeah. John has
Oh,
another
John.
Angel.
John's going to be able to blink his Thragtusk. Back it comes. We've got 2 beasts. I believe these beasts are going to double block the Gore Clan Rampager. And they do.
are. So he's gonna trade his Rampager for a beast. John back up to 21.
And
No
has,
trample. No
has
trample this
once
turn.
again that clock.
Here comes Huntmaster. from
Huntmaster.
Dylan.
2 life.
Gets another wolf. And passes back.
John Goss draws, thinking. 2 paths to victory, or sorry, 2 paths before him. One involves going after Domri, one goes after Dylan's life. He goes to Domri.
Yeah. Does not have the abrupt decay just yet, so wants to make sure it takes an awful while for Domri to tick all the way up to ultimate if he's going to stick around.
Flip on the Huntmaster to become Ravager.
And
Has to
he,
deal 2 to the Thragtusk.
Yeah. Interesting choice. Draws. He's going to tick up Domri and see if he can find another creature. He does. It's a Gyre
Gyre
Sage.
Sage.
What was the other card, though? We're not quite sure. We can't see. And John can attack. He can attack with his smaller guys if he wants. Even though they'd get eaten, he could kill a Thragtusk after that 2 damage from the Rampage or the Ravager.
In comes the Ravager of the Fells once again.
John, at a healthy 19, can easily just take this. He's going to go ahead and trade his Thragtusk here, or at least represent a trade. So he's put the Thragtusk in front of the Ravager.
And
Looks like a trade is
they
happening.
are going to trade. There we go, okay. 1 trample goes over. John Goss goes to 18. Another beast.
Actually, 3 trample goes over. Because there were 2 damage on the Thragtusk.
Oh, there were already 2 damage on it, you're right.
Yeah.
Gyre Sage and Arborolf putting it all out there, no fear. Which, given the way that his opponent's deck looks, it's very likely that no fear is correct.
Yeah. No need to play around Supreme Verdict.
Take that, Domri.
Yeah, Domri goes away after a 2nd consecutive hit from a Restoration Angel. Domri's
Pass.
doing a reasonable job of protecting Dylan's life total. Drew him a couple cards, gained him 6 life.
Now, if we look at this, we've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13 power currently on Dylan Grimes' side of the table. If he came in with everything, he would lose 2 of his creatures, but he would still deal 9 damage. That's assuming, of course, no tricks.
I believe his hand is just mountain.
He says go.
John draws a card. Dylan with just 1 card in hand, John with just 2. Restoration Angel attack you, knock you to 12.
Mountain in
It
Dylan's
is a
hand.
mountain, okay. And draws a card.
Looks like a land.
Yeah, Dylan not finding threats, finds a stomping ground, puts it into play tapped.
Every turn that he waits means that the angel makes a the threat of a crackback. Like, Alpha striking last turn made it very unlikely for John Goss to swing back and kill him. But now that his life total is lower, it makes it even more likely he could just die from a random, like, say, block, stay alive with his beasts, and then drop an angel and then kill you.
Yep.
I think last turn was the turn to Alpha Strike, and
Yeah,
now I think it's past that time. I think he can only partially strike. I think he would have to leave back 2 chumps.
Yeah, that window definitely was last turn. It looks like he is...
Going for the mostly alpha.
Yeah, he's keeping back 3 chumps.
I'm just imagining if those Gyre Sages were 4/5s.
Oh, wow, how different it would be. So, some blocks being declared here. Looks like the beasts are getting in front of the Gyre Sages. And yeah, Gyre Sages go away when they wouldn't have.
And John Goss, though, does take a small little hit going down 6 life.
Dylan at 12. That angel hit. Just going to take 4 more hits from that angel, but John probably needs to present a little more of an offense. Or he'd like to, of course.
John is considering attacking with everything here.
That seems real dangerous.
Oh, but he's considering it. Look at that. He's extra turns. It's turn 1 right now.
And no attack. Now he's got the fear.
We go to turn 2 then for Dylan Grimes.
Now we don't know what's in John's hand.
Oh my goodness gracious me! That is a Kessig Wolf run.
Wow, that could have been.
Okay, is this turn 1 then? Okay, this is turn 2.
Okay. So turn 1 was John, turn 2 is Dylan. Dylan finds a Kessig Wolf run, and now I think he may have broken the game open. So he's swinging in he's representing 7. John at 10. He's representing 7 without counting Kessig Wolf run, of course. I imagine John goes ahead and blocks each of the 2 power guys with all 3 of his creatures. Gyre Sage going to get in. All of John's creatures would just eat Dylan's. So Dylan is going to, of course, use the Kessig Wolf run.
+4/+4 onto who? Or sorry, +4/+0 onto the Burning Tree Emissary, who was being blocked by an angel, I believe.
Looks that way to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be take 2.
So Angel and Emissary will trade, leaving John with just 2 beasts, and Dylan has 2 blockers back.
I do think Dylan is being a little too cautious with this setup.
Yeah, he is at 12. He could afford to possibly have attacked with at least 1 more guy, or pumped 1 more into Kessig Wolf run. Either way, been fine. And a Rocks Faithmender from John.
Yikes! 1/5 lifelink and doubles all life gain for him.
And another land for Dylan, which represents another damage from Kessig Wolf run. So it's not as bad as it could be, the fact that he didn't draw a threat, because the land is sort of a threat on its own.
No, this is turn 4.
He needs to win here. He looks like he can't do it. He just gets it block. Yeah, I mean there's really no amount of there's no way he has enough to pump into the Wolf run to win that game. I feel like that game